to recap what we learned yesterday. So yesterday we learned the product rule, quotient rule. So product, remember, is multiply. Quotient rule is divide. And then the zero power is just a little zero. Okay. So we're going to kind of talk about those rules again. So our first one we're going to talk about is the product rule. So remember, our coefficients we treat like normal. So 3 times -6 is -18. But our exponents we add. So A and A, they have to have the same base, which is the letter. So 5 plus 3 is 8. So I have A to the 8. Remember, we add exponents when we multiply. Okay, B, 4 plus 7. I don't know why that took me so long in my head. 11. And I don't have a C over here. All I have is this one C. So it's just C or C to the 1 power. Either way is correct. I'm going to actually cover up that 1. And there's my answer. Okay, so again, here, but the only difference today is we do have fractions. But y'all, we have a calculator. So we're not going to let the fractions scare us. We're going to use our calculator. So again, we are still adding. So we're going to do x 2/3 plus 4. And I'm going to leave it as a fraction because I was given a fraction. So I have x to the 14/3 power. And then y, I have 5 plus 1/2. Which gives me 5.5. But again, we were given a fraction. We're going to keep it as a fraction. Is 11/2. So same concept. It's just a fraction, but nothing to be scared of because we're still just going to type it in our calculator. Okay. So the next problems, this is quotient. This is division. Okay. So again, I have some fractions, but this one also has multiplication. So I'm actually going to do this one first to cover just the quotient rule first. Okay, so 3 divided by 9. Well, if I type that in my calculator, it does simplify to 1/3, not 3. Where do I have more x's? I have more x's on top. 6 minus 3 is 3. Where do I have more y's? If there's no exponent, put a 1. I have more y's on top. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So you can leave your answer like this. Or I want you to realize it could just be x to the 3rd, y to the 4th over 3. So you could also see it without that 1. Okay, this one we have multiplication and division. So I'm going to multiply the top first. I'm going to simplify the top before I try to divide. So I have k 7 plus 3. And I have L, if there's no exponent, I'm going to put a 1. 3 plus 1. And then I have m as a fraction, so I'm going to use my calculator. And I have 3/7 plus 2. Turn it into a fraction, and I have 17/7. Yeah. And I'm going to rewrite the bottom. I'm putting that little swoop on my L so I know it's an L and not a 1. Okay, and now we're going to subtract. So where are there more K's? There's more K's on top. 10 minus 2 is 8. Where are there more L's? Well, if you're not sure, you can do 2 divided by 5. Woo! And I get 0.4. So 0.4 is less. So we're going to do 4 minus top minus bottom. So 3.6. And again, I'm given a fraction. We're going to keep it a fraction. So I get L on top. And I have 18/5. More M's. Well, I don't know what 17/7 is. Is 2. So I have more M's on bottom. And we're going to do 6 minus, and again, we want a fraction, 25/7. So there's my answer. Okay, the next piece is a little different. We haven't talked about this, but it's still the same thing. So I know we've talked about division before, but the thing I need you to remember is dividing fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second. and multiply. Okay, dividing fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. So the first one stays the same. M4 over n times, we're going to flip it. So n third over m squared. Well, you can rewrite this as m4 n3 over nm squared. So then you ask yourself, where do I have more m's? Remember, we're going to go alphabetical. M comes first. So 4 minus 2 is 2. Where do I have more n's? On top. So 3 minus 1 is 2. And then the bottom can stay empty. So there's my answer. Oops, might help if you can actually see what I'm writing. Sorry, y'all. So from there, we just wrote it together. Top, bottom, and then we subtracted. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. There were more on top, so they both stayed on top. So same exact thing. Keep the first one the same. We're going to change it to multiplication, and we're going to flip it. So x2y4 over y2x, put a 1. Okay, where are there more x's? On top. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Where are there more y's? On top. 4 minus 2 is 2. There's my answer. There's nothing left in the bottom. Okay, the next rule we're going to talk about is the 0 rule. Okay, so just remember the 0 rule is when anything to the 0 power equals 1. So that whole thing's to 0 power, therefore the whole thing equals 1. Here, only the x turns into 1, so this is 1y to the 6th, which can also just be written y to the 6th. Now, if you wrote this, that is correct as well. Okay, flip it over. We're going to talk about some word problems. What is the area of a rectangle in square units with a width of this and a length of this? Well, remember, area equals length times width. So here's my width, here's my length. We're going to multiply. Length times width. So really it's the same thing we've been doing. So 3 times 4 is 12. Remember, coefficients we treat like normal. And then we add our exponents. So I have x2 plus 2 is 4. And then y3 plus 2 is 5. So there's my area. Okay, the next one's a little different though. It says the area of a rectangle is 140. So it gives me the area. So what I want you to realize is here it's wanting to find the length. Well, I'm going to divide W on both sides so I get length by itself. So length equals area divided by width. So I'm going to do length equals, I'm going to use my area because this only gave me one side. And I want to find the other side, the length. So I know the width, so divide by width. So when it gives you the area, you're dividing. Okay, so I know 144. I don't know 144 divided by 8 on the top of my head. So we're going to type it in. Not 9 is 18. Okay, I have more A's on top. 8 minus 2 is 6. I have more B's on top. 4 minus 2 is 2. There is my answer. Okay, you have an assignment in Schoology. It's a Wayground, and it is a grade. Good luck.